reach shallow water.
So the water itself is
It's
hostile.
hostile. But I think Britain found a way to weaponize
Okay, the
the
water.
ocean.
If that is what they mean, that's a very
That's next level, man.
advanced technology.
That's next level.
Hi
Hi
guys,
guys.
welcome back again to the channel. Today we are going to be checking out something from the channel Ceasefire Now, and this is why Britain is nearly impossible to invade.
Wow.
And this sparked up a curiosity in us, and we actually checked out if Britain has ever been invaded in history, and the Google research said yes. Britain has been invaded many times, and this is
You
the
should know because you forgot to watch the kingdom.
exactly. And this invasion was from Roman, and that was in 43 AD by the Anglo-Saxon 5th century Vikings, Normans, and the Glorious Revolution, and
The
also
French.
by the French.
Wow.
I had no idea the French actually invaded Britain at any point. And let's get right into this one and see why in the modern time it is difficult to invade Britain. Let's go.
It's quite impressive. I didn't know.
Me too. I didn't know that. That's new.
Spain, France, Nazi Germany, even the superpowers of them, every great empire in Europe has dreamed of it. Spain, France, Nazi Germany, even the superpowers of the modern age.
Sorry, Nazi Germany. I don't think that's in existence anymore.
No,
Or
no, no.
like back
That was
then.
that was before the World War One and
Every
Two.
one of them ran into the same brutal truth. Britain is not just an island. Britain is a trap built by geography, hardened by history, and defended by forces no invasion fleet has ever beaten.
Wow.
You can cross
Wow.
deserts, break armies, and burn continents, but you do not cross the channel and live long enough to tell the story.
Really?
Because the moment an invasion force points itself at Britain, it enters a kill zone shaped by savage maritime weather, fatally narrow choke points, and a naval doctrine that has spent 500 years specializing in one thing: killing anything that tries to land.
Wow.
The English Channel has swallowed armadas, drowned armies, and destroyed the ambitions of 3 continents. Even modern technology hasn't made Britain easier to invade. It has made it mathematically impossible. Before the first soldier even touches the sand, the invasion collapses under physics, logistics, and Britain's ability to strike from below the waves, above the clouds, and across the sea simultaneously.
What?
This is why no country on earth has ever conquered Britain through a cross-channel landing. And it's why no country alive today, not even a superpower, can change that.
Not even USA.
Wow.
Every invasion of Britain begins with the same mistake: believing the English Channel is just water. It isn't. It's a 34-kilometer execution zone that has drowned fleets, snapped masts, capsized troop barges, and shredded the plans of the strongest armies Europe ever produced.
Wow.
People imagine the Channel as a calm strip of blue separating Britain from France. That's geography on a map.
So
The
sorry.
real-
So it's water that is separating France.
Britain and France.
Yeah, and Britain. What?
Wow.
The Channel is a violent, shifting, unstable corridor shaped by 3 converging seas, colliding tidal systems, and microstorms that form and vanish so fast, satellite images struggle to predict them. On calm days, the water looks harmless. On operational days, it's a weapon. A fleet
is
can
it a
launch under
weapon?
clear skies and find itself fighting a horizontal hurricane before reaching the halfway point. And landing craft,
Really?
the core of any invasion, are the vessels least capable of surviving these shifts. Flat-bottomed hulls slam into erratic waves, electronics fail under sudden spray bursts, and even a mild swell is enough to flip or flood them. This is the same physics that wrecked the Armada,
What?
stalled
Wow.
Napoleon, and made Hitler's generals admit Sea Lion was not a military operation, but a mass suicide plan.
What?
Below the surface is worse. Fast currents ripping vessels off course, sandbanks that shift monthly, and shallow choke points where any formation collapses into chaos.
Damn.
Modern navigation helps, but it cannot change the fact that amphibious ships must approach slowly, predictably, and within range of every weapon Britain can bring to bear. Invasion fleets don't die on the beach. They die before the beach.
Wow.
The Channel destroys fleets, but anything that survives faces something far worse. Britain never built its power on armies. It didn't need to. An island with hostile waters only needs one doctrine to stay alive. Destroy anything
So
that
I'm
tries.
sorry. So the water itself is
It's
hostile.
hostile.
It's because I was thinking that those things the reaction of the water is being engineered by some kind of physics, like the water spray, the hurricane and everything. But to say that these are natural
Will I call it disaster? I won't call it
yeah.
disaster because, but it should be because. But I think Britain found a way to weaponize
Okay, the
the
water.
ocean.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, true.
So because they now turned that canal into a kill zone. You understand? Because they know that the place is a no landing zone, and more so they made it difficult that any ship that comes there, I believe that there should be natural stones and corals that will be there to tear the ship apart. But I also believe that they must have imbued some
Engineer
themselves.
something there,
Do
yeah.
you understand? So
That's the key
Cross them.
switch.
For 500 years, the Royal Navy was engineered around a single strategic mission: erase invasion fleets before they reach shallow water. Not defeat them at sea, not
What?
chase them, eliminate them. This is why
Eliminate,
Britain
like
poured
Yeah.
kill?
resources into ships instead of massive land forces. A single navy, positioned correctly, can stop 100,000 soldiers from ever touching sand. An army can only fight what lands. A navy prevents it from happening at all. Since the Tudor era, Britain designed coastal kill zones, stretches of sea where wind, tide, geography, and artillery overlap to turn the channel into a firing corridor. Confined water multiplies defender firepower. Enemies have one approach route, predictable timing, and no space to maneuver.
Oh wow.
Britain has every advantage: range, angles, concealment, and the ability to concentrate force at a single choke point. In the missile era, this doctrine became lethal. A modern invasion fleet must survive. Anti-ship missiles that outrange escorts frigates built specifically to fight in tight waters. Hunter-killer submarines stalking from below maritime patrol aircraft tracking everything above. And the
Wow.
closer an invader gets to British shores, the deadlier the firepower becomes.
Wow.
The doctrine never changed.
So
The
nobody
technology
dared to
just
go
made it
close.
absolute. Even if an enemy could somehow neutralize the Royal Navy, the real problem begins when they face the math of amphibious warfare. If you're enjoying this deep dive, please like the video and consider subscribing to our channel. Your support helps us bring more global insights. Now, back to the video.
the logistics nightmare.
Every invasion plan collapses the moment you run the numbers. An army isn't defeated by bravery or strategy, it's defeated by logistics, and amphibious logistics are the most unforgiving on Earth. A single landing division needs over 400,000 pounds of supplies every day just to stay alive. That means fuel, ammunition, food, spare parts, medical gear, all of it shipped across the most monitored waterway in the world. To maintain even a modest foothold, an invader must run a non-stop convoy of slow transports and vulnerable landing craft. And these aren't warships, they're steel boxes that move at walking speed. Modern warfare turns them into target practice. Missile batteries can obliterate them from over the horizon. Drones track every movement. Precision radar maps every vessel. Artillery can range predictable approach lanes with mathematical accuracy. And the closer these ships crawl toward the coast, the worse it gets. Shallow water forces transports into narrow, slow-moving channels where they cannot maneuver or hide. This is where landing craft die, trapped, exposed, and unable to disperse. One missile strike doesn't sink a ship, it blocks the route behind it, turning the rest of the convoy into a stationary, burning traffic jam. No army can fight its way off a beach when its supplies are sinking offshore. But even if a
Yeah.
miracle allowed an enemy to land, geography crushes them again.
What? It's so crazy that even if a miracle allows you to be there, how do you get supplies? How do your logistics
Yeah.
come through? That's crazy to think of, man.
It's not possible.
It's not.
On a map, the coastline looks long and inviting. In reality, over 90% of it is unusable for a large-scale amphibious assault. The few beaches capable of handling troops, armor, and supply vehicles are clustered into predictable bottlenecks: Kent, Sussex, parts of East Anglia, and a handful along the southwest. Every one of these zones has been studied, fortified, and wargamed for centuries. There are no surprises left for an invader to exploit. And those usable beaches come with their own traps. Much of southern England is lined with cliffs that turn landing zones into kill boxes.
Really?
Troops hitting the sand must fight uphill against defenders who can fire from elevated positions.
Oh, that's
drop
deadly.
artillery on
Yeah.
fixed routes,
The
and
kill
watch
box.
every movement from miles away. The invasion force becomes a slow-moving silhouette against a white chalk backdrop, visible long before it can organize. and where cliffs don't dominate, marshland does. Large stretches of the British coast transform into soft mud during tidal shifts. Tanks sink, trucks stall, even infantry struggles to move at speed. The enemy doesn't advance, it crawls. And every minute spent fighting the terrain is a minute the defenders use to bring artillery, air power, and mechanized units to the landing site. Also, Britain's tidal range is enormous, among the highest in Europe. At low tide, landing craft can be stranded hundreds of meters from the shore, forcing soldiers to slog across open mudflats under fire. At high tide, those same mudflats vanish, turning safe zones into deep, chaotic surf. An invader must time its arrival perfectly, in a place where timing perfection is physically impossible.
Exactly.
If troops somehow establish a foothold, Britain still holds the decisive edge. Interior mobility. The island's road and rail networks allow defenders to redirect entire brigades faster than any invading force can push inland. Britain doesn't need a huge standing army on the beach. It needs a mobile one in the heartland. The invaders fight the terrain. The defenders fight on highways. The result is always the same. Landing slow, choke, and collapse.
Wow.
While British reinforcements arrive faster than the invaders can unload their own supplies. Because viable landing zones are so rare, invaders have no freedom to scatter forces or fake alternate landings. Britain knows precisely where an enemy must come ashore. And it has centuries of doctrine, fortifications, and contingency plans focused on those exact coordinates. Geography doesn't just protect Britain. It funnels the enemy into pre-designed killing grounds. Even geography would be survivable if modern defense systems didn't make landing suicidal. Britain can mine its coastal approaches in hours. Modern sea mines don't float in neat rows like in old war films. They hide deep, track acoustic signatures, and detonate under optimal points of the hull. Any landing craft approaching Britain must crawl into range of...
This thing is just explained. I think I've seen it in a movie, but I thought it was just movie. What I mean is that most of these mines, right, they put them... I don't know whether that's what he means. I'm not really a sci-fi engineer. They put the mines in the water, right? And when the mine senses enemy ship, you know, the vibration of the ship, the mine has its own coral engine that propels it closer to the ship upon detonation. I don't know what that's what that type of because that's practically what he just said.
But if that is what they mean, that's a very advanced technology.
That's next level.
Anti-ship missiles with pinpoint accuracy, mobile launchers that relocate after firing, radar systems designed specifically for cluttered coastal waters. One missile strike doesn't have to destroy the ship. It only has to disable it, because a disabled vessel becomes an obstacle that breaks the entire landing sequence. Transport ships move slowly. Fighter jets do not. Once an invasion fleet is detected, RAF squadrons from bases across southern England can be airborne within minutes, guided by a radar network that blankets the channel. The age of surprise landings is over. Even before an invasion fleet reaches the channel, Britain's drones, satellites, and maritime patrol aircraft would track every heading, every speed change, every formation shift. Transport ships cannot scatter or hide. Their size, noise, and predictable speed make them the easiest battlefield signatures to identify. If any enemy aircraft attempt to protect the landing fleet, they enter an airspace packed with SAM systems, early warning radars, interceptor aircraft, electronic warfare platforms. The defender doesn't just outgun the attacker. It outdetects, outcoordinates, and outreacts. In modern warfare, landing craft don't approach the beach. They never get close enough to see it. And yet, all of this is still conventional warfare. Britain's true shield is something else entirely.
The nuclear tripwire.
Every discussion about invading Britain hits the same immovable wall. An invasion isn't just a military act, it's an existential threat. And existential threats trigger Britain's final doctrine: nuclear retaliation. At any given moment, one of Britain's ballistic missile submarines, Vanguard now, Dreadnought soon, is hidden somewhere in the world's oceans. It carries Trident missiles designed to survive a first strike and guarantee a second one. No adversary knows where it is. No satellite can track it reliably. No fleet can hunt it without exposing itself. This is the continuous at-sea deterrent, a system built on one principle. If Britain is threatened with destruction, someone pays with cities. A conventional attack on a military base is one thing. An amphibious landing on British soil is entirely different. It signals the intent to conquer, decapitate, or collapse the state. In nuclear doctrine, that is the definition of an existential threat. Britain's policy is simple. If the state's survival is in question, nuclear weapons are authorized. No warnings, no negotiations, no last chances. A landing fleet isn't just an enemy force, it is a declaration that the attacker is ready to destroy the United Kingdom as a functioning country. That line is not somewhere Britain might retaliate. That is the line where Britain will retaliate. Nuclear deterrence doesn't rely on the attacker believing Britain is stronger. It relies on the attacker believing Britain will pull the trigger. And every British Prime Minister has reinforced the same reality. The nuclear arsenal exists to stop invasion, not to win wars. A superpower could roll the dice against Britain's Navy or Air Force or coastline. But gambling against a guaranteed second strike capability is suicidal.
Wow.
One miscalculation means losing not a fleet, but entire cities. Even if an enemy launched a surprise attack, knocked out air bases, and destroyed command centers, the submarines survive. That is their design. Silent, mobile, undetectable. A second strike capable submarine is the ultimate insurance policy. You can bomb Britain's ports, you can cripple its infrastructure, but you cannot stop the missile submarine already sitting in the Atlantic with its firing doors closed. An invasion force pointing itself at Britain isn't just challenging a military, it's challenging a nuclear...
So if this ship is not anywhere close to home base, how do they refuel? And if they refuel at like an ally nation, then the word he used there that no country has been able to track it.
Yeah.
So is the ship infinitely powered?
That's a good question.
Do you understand? Because I really want to know. Because this ship is nowhere close to Britain, right? It's literally just out there.
So how do they do the maintenance?
And I heard somewhere that if a ship operates for like I think 50 years, it goes for maintenance for like 100 years or something.
Really?
Like I think I had that myth, but I don't know whether it's truth or not.
Okay.
Nuclear state that keeps one finger permanently on the last switch. But nuclear deterrence isn't Britain's only modern shield. There's another layer, buried underwater. Britain's most powerful defenses aren't the ones anyone can see. They're the systems no invader plans for, because most of them aren't publicly acknowledged at all. If the Royal Navy is the sword, Britain's underwater surveillance architecture is the tripwire. A network of sensors, hydrophones, and detection arrays that make it almost impossible for a hostile fleet or submarine to approach undetected. The public knows very little about Britain's underwater listening systems, but what is known is enough. Acoustic arrays in the North Atlantic and Channel detect even the quietest submarine movements. These sensors track propeller signatures, hull harmonics, pressure disturbances, flow noise. Every modern submarine has a unique acoustic fingerprint. Britain collects those fingerprints. If an enemy vessel tries to sneak toward British waters, it doesn't slip through gaps. It enters a mapped acoustic cage. 3 maritime bottlenecks define Britain's security perimeter. The Strait of Dover. The English Channel approaches the Geographic Gap, Greenland, Iceland, UK. These are not passive waterways. They are monitored, layered kill funnels. The Geographic Gap in particular...
Sorry, so there are people 247 sitting on the system, day in, day out, monitoring the water, monitoring...
Yeah, but it's not just one person. Like,
I know.
they take
shifts and all. Oh, wow.
They have to. If not, the enemy will sneak up on
is the
them.
reason no foreign submarine reaches the Atlantic without NATO knowing. Britain's patrol aircraft, underwater sensors, and hunter-killer submarines treat the region as a gate. Anyone who crosses it is detected, classified, and tagged. A stealthy approach is fantasy. Britain's detection begins long before an enemy fleet reaches the channel. Also, there are submarine detection systems that Britain does not publicly discuss, but their existence is obvious from how the Royal Navy behaves. These include buried arrays on seabeds, passive sonar farms near key ports, magnetic anomaly fields, fusion systems combining sonar plus satellite plus signals intel. This is a country that built nuclear submarines capable of tracking enemy boats quietly for weeks. It is not operating blind around its own coastline. Everything ties into one reality. Any invasion force is identified hours, if not days, before it reaches British waters. Satellites track fleets leaving port. Signals intelligence monitors communications. Undersea sensors detect hull movement. Patrol aircraft confirm signatures. Submarines intercept from below. An invading fleet never arrives unexpectedly. It arrives pre-registered, pre-measured, and pre-targeted. Britain does not wait for enemies to knock on the door.
At all.
It hears them long before they step onto the porch.
True.
Add all this together, and history becomes unavoidable. History doesn't repeat. It exposes patterns, and every empire that tried to cross the channel ran into the same set of forces that still exist today. People say storms destroyed the Armada. Not quite. The real problem was that the channel's weather amplified every Spanish weakness. Rigid formations, slow turning radiuses, and ships designed for open ocean battles, not knife fight waters. The Armada wasn't defeated by wind. It was defeated by a battlefield that punished its design. Napoleon didn't cancel the invasion because he feared the Royal Navy's guns. He canceled it because the math made the operation suicidal. His flat-bottom barges could barely cross a calm river, let alone one of the world's most volatile straits. He needed naval supremacy for weeks. He couldn't guarantee it for hours. The invasion died the moment he realized the channel couldn't be bullied. The sea line wasn't abandoned because of moral hesitation or tactical errors. Germany needed 3 conditions: air supremacy, naval dominance, and coastal control. And it couldn't achieve any of them simultaneously. The Luftwaffe couldn't kill the RAF. The Kriegsmarine couldn't face the Royal Navy. The channel defenses couldn't be suppressed. Germany controlled a continent, but the channel exposed its limits. The invasion never reached the beach because the barriers weren't just military. They were physical, environmental, and logistical. And in the modern era, these obstacles haven't weakened. They've multiplied. An enemy can't simply cross the channel. It must win every domain at once. Destroy the Royal Navy, neutralize the RAF, beat nuclear...
I have something I want to say. Okay, the video is at end. Let me keep it in mind.
You can say it now.
You know, one of the reasons why Britain survived every single invasion and no man dared to invade them was because they were, what's the word? I don't want to sound racist in this, but because they are true patriots of the country. But with the news I'm seeing these days, I would say to a large extent, Britain has been compromised. The question is, if an invasion happened now, will those people that have migrated to Britain stand up and defend that nation like its own? That is the biggest question Britain needs to ask. And if yes is not the answer, then look into immigration laws, man, because I feel like Britain is slowly being swallowed.
Oh God, that's painful to
This is a controversial talk. I don't mean to put it here, but like I feel like from what he's saying, and I know the history of Britain. I see Britain and I'm proud of the RAF because they fought tooth and nail, even to the last man, but they never let any single German beat their air defense. So the question now is, if it repeats again,
is it the same?
Will we have the same patriotic Britons to stand and defend its nation?
Deterrent thresholds, achieve air supremacy, dominate the channel, defeat coastal defenses, land forces, supply forces, expand the beachhead, push inland faster than British reinforcements. This sequence has never been achieved, not once. Not by the most powerful empires on Earth. Not by modern superpowers with satellites, drones, and precision weapons. And today, the requirements aren't merely difficult. They are mutually exclusive. Britain isn't protected by luck. It's protected by physics, geography, and a defense architecture designed to break invasions before they begin. No fleet survives the channel. No landing force defeats the Navy. No army outruns Britain's reinforcement speed. And no adversary crosses the nuclear line and walks away. This isn't difficult. This is unworkable. So how do you invade a country where every path to the beach is a trap, and every step after that is worse? And if history, technology, and raw logistics all point to the same answer, is Britain the closest thing modern warfare has to an unconquerable state? If you found this analysis valuable, please consider subscribing to our channel for more deep dives into geopolitics.
Wow. So you guys, I saw a comment. I'm going to read that comment because watching this video, we see how powerful the Britain is. But this comment got me really wild. This person said, "What the F?" I was so shocked when he said that because he's actually just relating what the fuck, you know. We have been invaded and we have been replaced. No weapon needed. We're letting them in. That actually like took my mind back. I'm like, what does this person mean? And what she said just actually naturally interprets what the person says in the video. And recently I saw this immigration stuff in Spain that the immigrants were
Oh,
actually in coming into Spain from the river. So looking at the Britain coastal line, I just feel like that's very much impossible to do in Britain. Like for people to swim through, because I know
no,
the ship, all of those machineries
could
can go
not
through,
pass through
yeah.
there.
But can people actually swim through to?
No, if it is in that dimension, it is not possible, right? Most of these people come as refugees from a failing country, from a war-ridden country. The truth of the matter and the bitter truth is this, right? We are not saying don't save people who are in need. But I believe strongly that if I leave this country I am right now and go to any country, I should abide by the rules
And the law of the
and the
country.
laws of that country,
This is a hot
regardless
topic.
of what I believe, regardless of who I serve. If I feel like I don't like the laws or the belief of people in England or people in
Britain,
Britain, I will sit my ass down
in my country.
in my country.
This is a hot topic, guys.
Very hot topic.
Because actually this video actually and that comment I saw currently, it actually like took my mind back, because I know these guys are really fortified, their walls are
Do you
fortified,
get?
they are prepared for any battle and anything. And
I think one of the biggest mistakes, right? Most countries, especially this non-religious countries or mostly Christian countries, do is this: you let people from another country take position, high position in your country. It doesn't make sense. Before you are let into high position in any country, I feel like first of all, we need to see you make a lot of sacrifices. Things like serving the army, take a bullet for the damn country. Freaking take a bullet first. Then we know, yeah, you are patriotic about that country before they let you into any position. Not just because you came, you bribe your way in and everything, and then all of, see, I don't want to talk about this because, like I said, it's a controversial topic, and I don't want to, talk. But when I see things like that, I am provoked because Britain is a great nation, and I am shocked that a lot of things. If I open the news, I'm seeing a lot of things that I don't believe
would ever
would
occur,
ever. I believe many other countries would go through that, but
but
I
not
never believed Britain would be one of them. See you guys on the next one.